Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast and Happy New Year. Today joined by
Mims.
Hassan.
Allawi.
and Hamoud. No use today because he had some work to do.
GG.
But yeah, welcome everyone to the Spawn Point podcast, the last episode of Spawn Point podcast in this year.
See?
Not the last at all, it's all come next week.
Just
We're
for
still going to be here
2021.
next week.
Yeah.
But for 2021, it's the last episode. So welcome everyone. And
Red Bull.
of course, thank you, Red Bull Bahrain, for always providing us with the Red Bulls
3,
for the
2,
podcast.
1. We did not sync at all.
So today is kind of going to be حلقة شوية غير. We're going to talk about gaming if anyone has any gaming topics. But since last week we were thinking about just reminiscing about the podcast. So if anyone listening or watching this podcast for the first time without watching anything else, this is going to be your history of Spawn Point من بداية لحين.
Well,
It's gonna be the
So-
throwback.
Let's
much,
talk about that stuff.
متى كانت أول episode؟
Let me check.
Was,
I think
I think it was in May.
مو uploaded متى؟
recorded. We uploaded like a few days after recording, no?
I think it was in May.
And my only
somewhere.
history in this podcast is controversy.
I think it was
I remember
somewhere
that
around
day.
May 2020.
I wasn't there.
19? صح لا around May 2019 May 2016 قصدي
2019, 2016.
Oh my God, my brain.
No, I don't. 2016 was the shop was not open. It's not the.
Okay, I think it was 2019 شهر 6.
Yus كتب your favorite moment. Yeah, his favorite moment.
His favorite moment. Use favorite moment on. Okay, yeah. By the way, we do this live on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/respawnbh. If you're watching or listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube, we're live every Friday على Twitch. في الchat, you just got a favorite moment was Hassan doing the vacuuming.
So the story behind it, and then I wasn't there. So
Why don't I say it?
لا أنت ما كنت
خلي
يعني.
أنا ما كنت هناك.
Yeah.
I think we were playing Borderlands 3 at the time.
Yeah.
Or 2. I'm not sure.
It's Borderlands 2.
Two,
actually,
yeah.
2. انزين بدأوا كانوا حمود علاوي ويوزا وعباس. A few days later I joined. And Borderlands doesn't have shared loot. مو individual loot, sorry, shared loot.
Shared loot.
Yeah.
اللي يطيح
I think they changed that, after for Borderlands
You can
3.
choose, by the way.
And
3.
Borderlands 3, yeah.
You can choose if you want it to be shared or
Or the individual
loot.
loot. عشان
But-
this doesn't have
And 2 it was shared loot.
Forced to be shared.
First come first served.
Yeah.
What happened is لو انا بجي بتهاوش ويا بوس بلعن اخته او شيء وعباس shoots the last bullet حتى if he doesn't shoot ويطيح كلها اللوت you see who you use 2 vacuums يجون يشفطون كل اللوت you're literally left with nothing.
Oh god.
Oh, that's the story يعني.
Dude.
تدري إنه مو عباس لا.
مبلى
أنا ويوز.
عباس بعد.
أنا ويوز.
عباس I promise يا عباس مبلى لا يا حمود.
كنتون يا 4
لا بس أقصد إنه who's vacuuming.
انا كنت العب اكونت حمود اتذكر.
الحمد لله ما أنا ما أسوي vacuum لا.
You might have done.
Dude,
So-
we're talking about Borderlands. Everyone's vacuum.
So the first episode we recorded, not recorded, the first episode we uploaded in the podcast was the first episode on April 17, 2019.
Close.
So almost, and in a few months will be 3
3 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 3 years since we've done this.
Yeah, but we took a break in between because of COVID.
COVID.
So
No, okay. I was gonna say I think the first episode was في نفس ثانية بس no, it's not the
Yep.
same.
مو
Is
نفس
it?
ثانية.
no, it's
It's not the
different.
same. It's
No,
not.
it's not
It's the
the
one Hamouz is wearing.
La. Even the
It
one
is,
I'm
لا?
wearing. The one I'm wearing is the old one. La, the one I'm wearing here is the old
No,
one.
I'm talking about
No, this
Malawi.
one is the newer one. So yeah, 2019. Wow, that was long time ago. This was
Long
أول
time
حلقة
ago.
كانت أنا ويوز وعلاوي. I don't remember the topics completely. It was
ما
like-
بشوف topics.
it was of course the only thing that didn't change I think when the podcast from this other than us
Yeah.
أنا وياك ويوز as the room. We were always in the same room. Yeah. We were always in the same room. بس we were recording كان شوي زحمة المحل كان في كمبيوترات وكذا. We had to borrow mics, stands, tripod, camera or audio interface. So everything we had
Goddamn.
back then was stuff that
Borrowed.
we did not own at all. Zero things from Spawn Point. And now look at this. From of course the support of chat and everyone who watches on Twitch. We got the audio interface. We bought all the mics. We have our own camera now. And hopefully soon we'll get our own lighting. لحد الحين Alawi is the guy who brings the lighting for us. But yeah.
So هذا في episode 1 الاشياء اللي تغيرت. انزين going to I think episode 4 انزين ما كان عندنا حتى محل
Oh yeah.
نسوي فيه بودكاست.
4 was it 4?
4
They're asking for a donation bar.
Bring back the donation bar in chat. Askar, Aziz. Not yet, soon. But we wanted because okay. Here's the thing. For anyone again who watches this not live after the fact, we sometimes put a donation bar.
Yeah.
عشان for us to buy stuff, and every time we put the donation bar in our mind is for us to buy stuff best within time. So we
Yeah.
want to buy a camera مثلا, and the camera cost like $600, and in our mind okay to get a $600 no we put the donation bar for like 3-4 months, and people will contribute to it with the donation, with the subscriptions goes
Yeah.
to it. And we add everything. يعني it's not only donations. حتى if someone subs, we take the money from the sub and نحطها في donation bar. But every time we do this, less than a month, sometimes in the same day,
Yep.
the donation bar is
Yeah.
filled, and it feels we're grateful. We love it,
But you need to buy yourself dinner, you know?
we don't want to overdo it, you know. We've done it the last thing for the mics, I think, huh? And we got the donations for the mics so fast that we felt like okay, it's
It felt
not
so bad.
it's we don't want to ask people to donate directly, or what we just got all of this stuff. The interface and then the mics. الفترة اللي بينهم الفرق اللي بينهم
The
مو
gap.
واجد, and then we feel like okay, we're happy that we got stuff and but we don't want to just keep asking people. So we want to at least make it worth it for you guys. Hope anyone who watches and listens or watches on Twitch, and we use the stuff we have, we entertain you, we do the stuff that we can do with it. But then if we want to get more stuff, then we can ask for more stuff.
So I've sent الفيديو قصدي الابيسود.
Yeah, this is the first episode.
لا
The episode.
Yep.
Which episode is that? 6 before?
ذكر 9 كان تونا عم بطلنا بديت بنتها. Yeah, it was episode
Yeah,
9.
9.
So اللي صار انزين ما عندنا محل نسوي
Oh,
بودكاست.
guys, I remember
وين
when you
سويتوها؟
guys sat on the couch كده متراعصين. They look like a bunch
So
of chickens.
was it?
in my office,
Oh, yeah.
we had a couch, so we decided like, okay, we don't want to miss the podcast, and we did miss a lot of podcasts by the way.
Yeah.
اي بس يعني
Within the years we missed, but
we've
at the
tried قد
beginning,
ما نقدر
at the beginning and the last period, we've been good.
Consistent.
Yeah.
What was up with the shop then? Why couldn't you do it here?
The setup with they didn't have the proper setup of putting everything together
think
because most of the
was
time at the car, if I remember correctly,
PCs?
no. Basically, they did not have the table, so they had to move the table to set things up and then return them back. I remember this.
كان episode 9 خلينا نشوف
Yeah.
episode 10 و episode 8 لا 8 اوكي كان شهر رمضان by the way.
Yeah, then we did we had the
Exactly.
Ramadan.
You guys like I
I think
remember.
كان في تنظيف في المحل او شيء كذي.
Yeah.
إنزين.
I think the PCs were like getting clean.
Damn, Allah, you lost a lot of weight.
مان قاعد اشوف شكلي انزين مو a lot of weight. خل هذا الابيسود في واحده من الابيسود قاعد اشوف يوز كان راسها هالكبر.
Yeah. يعني I've been looking.
the hell?
was
أحسن.
fat.
Talk in the mic, please.
What the hell?
Yeah, thank you.
اذا تشوفون شكلي في episode 3 والحين انزين كنت basically what the hell.
What's happening?
Is it the video or your phone?
I don't know.
Oh,
I think
no,
it's
it's
the
just the
video.
beginning.
That's the
Yeah.
demonic spirit.
I don't know.
No,
Look,
it's my phone. That's
Look.
good.
if there is one thing other than okay, some stuff changed, a lot of stuff changed. And then
Yep.
so there's this one thing that consistent in every stream we do. It's always gonna be scuffed, and we're always gonna be scuffed. So that's something we. في البداية I'm not gonna joke. في البداية I used to be always too stressed about expecting the podcast perfect. Oh, have to لازم كل شيء صح.
Yeah.
Let's on time or what. And it is just something in my brain. And when I do stuff, I have to
Perfectionist.
keep and I try to do it the best I can do. But every time we try our best. And it's not no one's fault. And every one of us try their best to do everything. But something will go wrong always. So I go فترة, and been doing this now for 3 years. I go فترة, I learned that, you know what?
Fuck it.
Whatever. It
Oh my God, your hand.
No, it's an identity.
Yeah, if it happens, it happens. إذا مثلا قبل كم أسبوع اللي شو اسمه we couldn't do the podcast because of the camera, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm like,
It's totally my fault.
I was not يعني before if it was 2 years ago I would be so stressed بتضايق وبزعل بقعد طول اليوم أفكر ما سوينا البودكاست بس when it happened I'm like don't do it.
You know when Hamud was
You know
like,
what?
it's okay, we're
We
not
don't
gonna
do
do
it
it. And this is literally my face, huh? Like,
Mims,
what?
when did you join as a permanent host?
I remember around maybe it was in July. Was it July or September?
I
One of
actually
those.
did few weeks ago I renamed few of the episode and the episode Mims joined I renamed that episode لأنه كان ما عليها اسم كان بس رقم.
Man,
And I renamed that episode. Let me check. I can check right now.
So basically episode 25 انزين منو كان فيها؟ كان فيها أنا خان ميمز كريتشر.
That's
Yeah,
weird,
that's
right?
what-
I wanted to ask تقدركم تخلصون what episode which first episode Hamoud was not there because he's the
يمكن
most
دي.
I think I've been in the most episodes.
Yeah.
يعني
100%.
خربت كل شيء كنت لان انا بيسكلي انزين ام تشارج اوف ذا كاميرا الحين حاليا في البودكاست انا متشارج مثلا الكاميرا انجلز مالها الوان حمود ساوند اديتنج وكل شيء انزين حمود مهني ما اعرف بالضبط.
But now it's easy. Now it's just
Yeah, now just
I
now
need
it's
time to
like
figure it out.
now because of course again and I think I will say this a lot but thanks for all the viewers and everyone who donate. Now it's so simple. It's just تشغل كاميرا تشغل الاوديو ايش اسمه هذا البودكاستر you open the software and press go live. It's so simple. And because and this is the whole idea of us buying the stuff of course. And we didn't just want to buy stuff because we like to get stuff better or بس لأن هذا we did have a mic, we did have the stuff we can use before but all of that stuff made it harder for us to work and we had to bring it from somewhere else.
exactly. It's a lot
Setting
of
up
effort
for
to set up.
Yeah, setting up for the podcast is too hard and first is the place is so small.
Yeah.
So we have to have the perfect setup every time and every time it changes مثلا إذا بنحرك الكاميرا يخترب شو اسمه the way it looks.
بس ما عليك ترى اي واحد يجي يشوف الست انزين يشوفه اول شيء في البودكاست انزين ويشوف الست
Yeah.
يقول عبالي محلكم اكبر.
Yeah, everyone says
But
that.
by the way, to be honest, I still remember the day where Hamoud just come to the shop 2 hours before just to do the whole setup and everything. And I just see him carrying everything, just dumping it, and then he's like takes a deep breath.
We still have few things that well, not few. We have a lot of things that we want to do. We're gonna talk later about like the
Future
stuff that we want to have. But since we just started, I found it and I missed it.
just like الاشياء اللي
what's the
تطورت
episode?
فيها من
What
ناحيه
episode?
الباك جراوند.
Dude, the background is a big step up, by the way.
tried
right now.
everything حطينا من قبل ستيكر اللوجو
Yep.
انزين
وطاح.
حطينا الشلف حطينا الشلف حطينا عليه اغراض just like كنا نجرب دائما شلون انزين احسن.
Basically, this is one of the things that, by the way, it's gonna keep on changing because
Yes.
the background is something that evolves with
should not
time.
stay
And yeah, we don't want it to be يعني after 3-4 years من يعني from now مثلا after 1 year and still looks the same. We want to have a newer look and hopefully if we get to the point in the future that we can have our own place that would be cool.
Yep.
But for now we just did this recently يعني ما صار لنا أكثر من كم شهر.
Imagine
This is so
it's
cool.
like,
Yeah.
you know what?
Looking at it
By the way,
there,
everything
so
is DIY.
By the way, you know what's gonna be cool when we reach to a point
كل شيء.
where respawns become respawn mansion.
Oh,
And it's gonna be consisted of the gaming center. There's a part where people can actually chill, and then there's the restaurant, and then there's where they can sleep.
نقدر ننام.
yeah.
Like, you know, it's like I
that
want-
was already in respawn. It should have never went away.
There's no space. What are you talking about?
And then, by the way, it's like okay, I know it's a weird comparison, but it's like a, you know, it's like the Playboy house, but it's like Respawn, you know.
What the fuck is a Playboy house?
It's like a
Wait, what?
no, I think it's like
I've never seen one.
like streamer's house.
Exactly, like a,
You know,
But
when-
for Playboys.
no, but cooler.
مو Playboy the
you know that Playboy
brand.
mansion,
ما
right?
تعرف Playboy Mansion.
No. Am I too innocent?
Yeah,
لا
I
you're too
get-
young.
you're not too innocent, but I don't think you're. I know you. You're not too innocent.
exactly.
But you don't know this one.
What is it?
It's a
It's a house for the models يعني?
Yeah.
basically.
Damn, that's so cool. What a nice place.
It's like, but I know, right?
back to the podcast.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so first episode. Okay, Mims joined before. يعني she came and
I
talked
remember,
on the
yeah,
podcast.
yeah, as a
Let me
guest.
see.
I remember I came
The
as a
first
guest
episode you came as a guest
14?
was episode 7. It
Oh.
was on May 26th.
Yes. It was
so-
during Ramadan. I still remember that, and I was starving.
Yeah,
And I just like came and I was like moody as fuck.
in that episode we talked mostly about we talked
Esports.
about other stuff,
Blizzard.
but we talked about
Esports.
being a gamer girl and just met the community.
Was it?
We talked about that. Yeah.
No, I also remember about esports.
Yeah, we talked about esports, but we also talked about the experience of like how being a gamer girl. And it is something still it's
Yeah,
evolving,
I
but
don't-
it's still always happy.
If you see Valorant clips, it's not
Yeah.
evolving, bro.
Man, I
It's,
swear.
I mean, it's not as come on.
No,
Ayam
no.
Xbox 360, it was worse.
Oh
If
shit!
you're a girl.
Oh, I am Xbox. Okay, I remember still that one time. By the way, you guys did not join. I was just playing alone, and I was like, let me just open the mic. And by the way, I don't have the most feminine voice. It's like the moment I opened the mic, I was like, hi, and I kid you not. Is that a girl?
Well, before I die, I wish I could experience being a gamer girl for a day online.
Yeah, I don't think you like it.
I know, I just want to experience
and
it.
let me tell you that after that, I did not open the mic. I remember Hamoud, Zomb, who else was Zabi was there, and I remember the whole guys were there. They're like, open the mic. I'm just like,
No.
there wasn't a chat. I had to use like just my character to just
Yeah.
no,
No,
it's not happening.
No. I'm
And
not
I
doing
remember,
this.
by the way, the first time I opened the mic with the guys at Overwatch,
Yeah.
and the kid Hamoud's like, you have a mic?
And then she never talked before. And then she has a mic, but of course. And then we used to play Halo. We played a lot of Call of Duty. We played so many games.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we never actually talked on
The
mic.
thing is, you guys played games that are long term. يعني مو once a week.
Yeah,
Halo, you play every
we
day.
played
Call
like
of Duty
we play almost daily.
and
yeah.
was Mims
Yeah.
always the character dish you
Yeah.
never expect a word out
No.
of that. So that's
No,
so
it
interesting.
was-
Zero communication.
I remember we played Halo, we played COD, and then I don't know what else.
But she
we
hears
played.
us, yeah, and we
Yeah,
talk,
yeah.
but she doesn't.
I'm like, I just responded, was like, just like, come here. I just like arrived. I was like, oh, okay, she's here. Oh,
So from May, when Mims first time came on the
as a
podcast,
guest.
then we did the fully Mims joining the podcast as a host as
Yeah.
on August 10th.
I
So
remember.
how the podcast started? وش
Dude,
كانت
I
الايديا
still
behind
remember
it?
that day when I arrived. I came bearing gifts. The kid I
I
brought.
don't remember how did we started
Right.
exactly the podcast يعني from scratch. But I always wanted to do a podcast, and I've done podcasts من قبل.
Yep.
I used to كنت ويا game overviews.
Yep.
Yeah.
ويا زومبي وسابي
Yeah.
وواحد ويانا اسمه احمد شراوي فيجمنت.
Thanks Game Overview على المايك.
Yeah, those mics were where we started. Oh, so we used those mics مال جيم اوفر فيوز كنا نستخدمهم اكو هني تحت موجود. We used those mics كنا نستخدمهم في البودكاست مال شو اسمه مال جيم اوفر فيوز. I don't know if I can find that podcast. But yeah, we used to do that podcast. They used to record it. كنا نروح بيت واحد من الصبايا وبيت
بس
وسابي
بدون فيديو.
بدون فيديو.
Just
Yeah, it's just audio.
audio.
كنا نروح بيت وسابي ونريكورد البودكاست وبعدين شو اسمه I think وسابي was editing it and uploading it and everything. But it was يعني I was having fun and enjoying doing a podcast back then. We did it for a few episodes بعدين we stopped doing it because they stopped doing the whole YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Since then I always wanted to do a podcast again but I suggested it with I think allow you use and we're like
Yep.
why not
Let's
We-
do a
we-
podcast. Okay.
we set it
متى؟
up وبعدين كنا I never did it live before. I think I remember me and Alawi we stayed here for like 2 days في المكتب figuring out getting the audio to the PC with the issue is okay, getting the audio into the PC
Yeah,
easy, but we wanted to get the audio into the PC and record it separately for each track. That was one thing we did not want to compromise on على من البداية, and we did not want all the audio to go into the same channel when it's recorded. And it's happening now. This is one of the main reasons why we bought the Rodecaster. And when I record the podcast now, my mic is separate. Your Mim's mic is separate. Ihsan's
like
mic
you have
separate.
different audio
And I have
sources.
everyone in their own channel. عشان بعدين once I go in and try to make all the levels are the same or make get all the noise out. My mic has less noise because I'm further away from the fridge مالت Red Bull, but you guys are closer to the Red Bull, so it needs to clean more, you know. أو مثلا sometimes my mic is gonna be low and you use talks way louder to match it all. عشان for anyone who listens to the podcast ما يحتاج يطول على الصوت يقص على الصوت كل دقيقة عشان يعرف إنه أنا قاعد أتكلم صوتي خفيف بعدين يوزو يتكلم صوته واجد فوق ينزل.
يوز يا فوليوم وورنينج.
يو شيء طبيعي.
It's like always like with the bass.
That was the idea. So we never compromised. We actually made it work.
Reflecting on audio quality إنزين و how was we're doing it من first episode كان عندنا الارمات العاديين عندنا اثنين كانوا انزين وكنت even afford يعني ما نبي نروح نقط فلوس انزين
we were just starting
وما ندري if it's gonna work if it's not people gonna like it
ولا لا continue are gonna stop
انزين فكان عندنا مايكين اثنينهم مركبين في one audio interface واحد منهم مركب في audio interface ثاني انزين واثنينهم موصلين على البي سي فالارمات في واحد منه اضطر يجود المايك بيده which is use طول الوقت كذي.
But you know what? That was nice. Like, you can notice now I'm doing it because I don't know. I have the habit of I need to have my head occupied.
You have to have something in your head.
It's mentally because it's like I feel like okay, I'm active right now.
We'll get you a spinner.
Oh my god! Please don't drop your iPhone.
We'll bring you the fidget spinner.
Well, by the way, just fun fact: and then Hamoud got himself a new phone this year because he dropped it and to the bathroom and broke it. Exactly. So please move your phone. Don't let it drop. And
I need to see stuff. I'm looking at the episode numbers. Okay.
شو نسوي عبود? Unfortunately, Abu's saying, look at Mims and Hassan holding the arms, and then they don't deserve an arm.
They just give them the mic.
Give them just the mic.
Actually, yeah.
And I do it, or I do this. لأن ظهري متعور I don't want to lean forward.
Exactly that.
قدم كرسيك.
No, it doesn't help.
الطاولة.
تعال مسجني له.
Oh by the way, yeah, we did talk about this.
Okay.
So هذا كان بداية الأوديو. إنزين. فنتكلم عن الطاولة.
Yeah.
أو نتكلم عن الكراسي قبل الطاولة.
Yeah.
So الكراسي بدينا black chairs نفس اللي حسام بالضبط قاعد عليهم.
Oh.
متسلفينهم من عند ريسبون.
بعد we had to give them back.
Okay, listen.
We have to give them back.
No, wait. ده كم بديتوا those كراسي and then you turn them back. And by the way, I still remember that shit.
But like, what's kind of كراسي?
Listen. And then you guys got كراسي مال العرس.
Yes.
Yep.
And let me tell you. Listen. And listen, let me tell you something.
That was the worst episode we ever recorded in our life.
By the way, let me, Ahsan, I don't know if you know this or not, but at some point, you know, he's a giant, you know? And he sat on the chair and broke it. He bent it, like literally, one of the legs was like this.
To be fair.
And he actually fell, by the way.
To be fair, the chairs are cheap. That's not completely his fault. The chairs are bad. أقل شيء أقل pressure ينكسرون.
Listen. Well, they are كراسي
Funny thing about those chairs, some FGC members would stack them and sleep on them.
Yeah.
So اللي يصير كان في الكراسي إنزين جبنا كراسي العرس سيد
كراسي العرس
اللي ما يقدر يعرف شنو كراسي العرس كراسي الحمران اللي رجالهم عشان الذهبيين بس في منهم كواليتيز فحتى احنا ماخذين the lowest of the lowest quality كان عندنا ايفنت انزين ونحتاج كراسي في نفس اليوم
كراسي عرس
انزين وكنا نحتاج اي كراسي فما كانوا intended for the podcast كانوا حق ايفنت ثاني
for events يعني
but you know it's like let me tell you something the moment I knew and there was كراسي عرس let me just tell you رحت اللي هو بيت سوبرا and I just see somewhere outside the same exact chair they had an event for عرس and this is my face كراسي عرس.
You know what would have been cool though? The first episode قعدتوا على ذاك البلاستيك اللي ابيض وفيه
Okay, listen.
Oh my god, no
Okay,
That would
way.
have been a beautiful glow up, you know.
No, listen, I don't think that will survive either معلاوي ولا يويو's break يعني.
لا ترست مي هاي كراسي القهوه قصدك لا
Yeah.
Delain, they are made out of
Legendaries.
titanium. It's not
Dude.
plastic, it's
Dude.
titanium.
Look,
I
if a chair can stand child abuse, then then شو اسمه لأن جهال إذا تعطيهم شيء وإذا ما كسره then this is a good chair.
It's
بس
good
إذا تعطيه
quality.
جاهل ويكسره in like 2 days, they're like no, that's a cheap shit.
But
so
it's
moving
like,
forward from الكراسي الى
كراسي
الطاوله
عرس.
we started ويا كراسي قصدي ويا طاوله واحده
مالت ايكيا.
it was 120 which is the normal IKEA table
It's
كانت
yeah.
طاوله واحده انزين في النص كذي
Yeah.
كل واحد
كنا
قاعد
مثل
كنا ثلاثتنا
عصير.
لنا اول شيء كنا
لا كنا ثلاثتنا
yeah,
فيوز
before we-
عند
yeah.
البيج سايد انزين انا
وانا
كذي قاعد حمود مرتاح لانه حجمه صغير
That's small.
انزين فبعدين قلنا اوكي احنا بنصير 4 الحين
Yeah.
ونيدا مايك زياده حصلنا مايك زياده حصلنا ضبطنا الموضوع فجبنا طاولتين
I
Yeah.
remember that.
طاولتين نركب فيهم الارم لازم نحط تحت الارم ربيه
ربوية لان الارم يحفر في الطاوله because الطاوله so cheap.
Dude.
الارم تحفر الارم ستاند في شو اسمه سكرو لا السكرو
Yeah.
goes into the table. That's how bad it is.
حربيا it goes into another dimension.
وانا بس نحط this is the easiest
And you
answers I
scramble.
found لان كنت افكر شلون اركب الارم بدون ما يعني لأن اذا
يخرم.
تركبه في الطاوله يحفر في
Yeah.
I don't mind اذا بيحفر بس مشكله اذا حفر it doesn't stand still يتحرك.
Yeah.
سو حمود ان يوز انفنتد
طلعت ربويه I'm like
وهذه الربيه تمت لما ضاعت نفس ما
I
قال
still
أحسن.
remember by the every single time and then من تخلص or something the whole arm just goes woo.
yeah.
And
Exactly.
I remember it was lost during the COVID times when you can't set up تحت.
and
It fell and
issue is it
disappeared.
with the arms. This is one of the things why we got the table stands. مشكلة الارms again because the space is small والكاميرا الانجل مالها is low. The arm covers a lot of the space.
Not even the yeah.
So we need to put the arms in a way ان ما يغطي على كل شيء بس بعد most of the frame is just arms ووايرات مرويش. So that's why we wanted this.
Basically, it wasn't a clean cut space
Yeah.
that we wanted. Where is it wire free
Then-
and mic free?
احنا we stayed with those tables لهالسنة يعني.
يعني التيبلز يمكن كانوا اخر ابجريد
Yeah.
قبل عقب حتى
مو بس لهالسنة ترى this isn't old.
Yeah, that's
Fairly new.
and this year we changed this.
سو
لا،
اول شيء
مختلفين
خذيناه
حوالي.
من ناحيه اكوبمنت انزين حق البودكاست خذينا كاميرا
Yep, that camera.
Yeah.
انزين قبل كاميرا وش كنا نسوي؟ نتسلف كاميرا
Yeah.
كل مره لا
كنت انا اجيب كاميرا وانت تجيب كاميرا.
او انا اجيب كاميرا فنمشي الموضوع
Yeah.
انزين بعدين المايك بعدين
كان
الرودكاستر
عندنا كنا نجيب الاوديو انترفيس
Oh,
عندي
you guys
مال
بعد-
خالد وبعدين
إيه.
انت كنت تجيب مال
اي
عندك.
بعدين انا اجيب الاوديو انت فنمشي الموضوع قد ما
بعدين
نقدر
Yes,
Literally the
used
only
to.
thing
Yeah.
that the podcast had was the shitty tables.
Yeah, and you know what يعني this is gonna be very علاوي the only one like, you're gonna understand this بس I'm gonna say it first عشان تسجل الاوديو يتسجل كامل separate tracks.
Yeah.
كان عندنا الزوم
Oh,
اوديو
yeah, I
انترفيس.
remember those.
هالزوم اوديو انترفيس يركبون فيه المايكات وبعدين فروم ذا زوم انترفيس يطلع
حق
واير
الأوديو.
يركب فيه another interface that takes it to the PC to the live
Yeah.
stream. احنا because we wanted to live stream and we wanted to record at the same time we had to do so much عشان now it's just one USB that does everything.
Exactly.
This thing when they announced it وحطوه انا مع الاول شفناه this is طلعنا this is made literally roadcaster made
Basically
for
حقنا.
point podcast like احس اللي كانوا في رود يطالعون يقولوا okay these guys need 4 mics حطوا 4 شو اسمه inputs and it records and output at the same time for live streaming. This is
People from
perfect.
Rome. Thank you.
عقبها كوفيد هيتس
Yeah,
اضطرينا نبند المحل
we did like
وات كم وي سكيبت لايك لين بس ابيسود
yeah and
Okay,
we did a lot of
because-
No, Discord episodes.
we did Discord
قبل-
episode.
Yeah,
قبل
but
Discord
before
episode.
Discord, basically, what happens again? We were in denial. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is just one thing.
because
And then-
no one knew how long would
Yeah,
it
and
take.
then they just like announced 3 months.
Mm.
And I still remember we just messaged each other. It's like the group was like, "Fuck." We're-
just like
another 3 months.
we need to carry
honestly
that
يعني one of the things that I know we want to change that of course but I know that a lot of people watch or listen to this podcast yet and we have viewers but not as much as like 100,000 10,000 or
Yeah.
stuff like that. We're still growing of course and we appreciate everyone who does that But it's still to us one of the best thing that we love to do every week.
يعني
we enjoy it.
اي بالنسبه لنا انا كوميتمنت بالنسبه لي
Yeah.
I'll cancel
Yeah.
everything I'll cancel
Exactly.
everything انزين عشان اجي البودكاست.
True.
Yeah.
ترى we all by the way we keep a space in our schedule just for the podcast.
يعني الجامعه كنت اسين لها
عشان
انزين.
yeah.
لا الجامعه عموما اسحب على كلاسات
Yeah.
بس بودكاست ما اقدر اسحب عليه
Yeah.
لهالدرجه.
because it
Okay,
is fun
it's-
to do.
To be honest, يعني part of the podcast, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but it feels therapeutic.
Yeah.
To just come
Come and
talk.
chill with friends.
It feels like
And-
your comfort zone where
No,
you
I
just can
remember.
express.
To me, the fun thing.
وين بدت فكره البودكاست كنا نقعد برا
Yeah.
yeah.
وانا ويكندز اغلب الوقت انزين فقبل ريسبون كانت عندنا البرا القعده انزين فنقعد نسولف just like people talking about video games
Yeah.
forever بس نهدر شوف سبايان قاعدين واقفين يطالعون يسمعون
discussion and stuff like that.
why we don't do this as podcast it worked
يعني that's again one of the things. The podcast is one of the joyful moments
Yeah.
of our يعني weekly life.
Weekly stuff. Yeah.
يعني whenever Friday comes, I kid you not, it feels like a different spiritual adventure for us.
And to me, what makes it the best thing about it, and I love doing it like but the best thing about the podcast, and we decided to do, and we didn't give up on, honestly, is doing the podcast live streamed. I think if
Yeah.
we did not do it live streamed, it would be different completely.
Of course.
And it's just recorded when you cannot see. We can go look at comments or people just replies and stuff like that. But I has because it's live and we can see people on Twitch chatting with us before the podcast and during the podcast. It is different and it feels fun. You can see the immediate reaction of people.
so going
Yeah.
forward موضوع كوفيد صار كوفيد so we decided to do it من
من
البيت
البيت Discord.
Yeah.
And
And
Discord.
that
Discord.
was like, let me just tell you something, guys. That was chaotic because not everyone had a strong
Internet
broadband,
connection. Yeah.
Yep.
and I had to host
Had
off.
10 بي بي اس كان عندنا
Yeah,
2
and
بي بي اس ابلود
We had to
Yeah.
make it through memes.
ميمز كانت الوحيده اللي
And I have to like guide memes and
Yeah.
make a whole يعني okay memes now do this
Yep.
put this here and do
Yeah.
okay وبعدين تصير مشكلة وما قاعد يشتغل مثلا there is a frame that's wrong
Oh,
or
by
shit
the way,
like
my
we have to stop the
PC
podcast allow it goes
Photoshop
حركي
عدل.
يا يمين
Oh, listen. One of the things that really made us panic during doing this from our houses.
فيديو ابديت
Exactly.
Yeah.
لدرجة by the way when
That's
we
why
had
it
that
happened
video
now.
right here, it's a PTSD, like flashback to those days. And you know what? During that time, the cat I talked about, I want to have a cat. And I got Cypher during that period of time. And let me tell you something.
شمعون
swear to bloody. إنزين؟ أتذكر the podcast, having it live from our houses and having Cypher as a new cat in my room.
يجي قدام الكاميرا
Exactly. So it's like, imagine you just see a tail wiggling around, fucking up my camera, and then almost like ending the stream, and then there's just me panicking. I can't even focus with anyone.
yeah it was
And there's Hamoud at the he gets pissed. He's like, just like, this is literally him. Like,
لا اوت اوف نو وير نوقف البودكاست سايفر شمعون سايفر
and then there's
حمود يزفنا بودكاست
and then there's Ma'lawi. He just get hyper focused on Cypher's like, look, Sham'un, what he's doing.
yeah
شي شمعون
the only
You said it, not me.
the online episodes were
Interesting.
Horrendous.
it didn't feel the same like
Yeah,
it's more fun when we're together or chatting وكل شيء at
And
on
it took away
Discord.
the element of the disgusting food.
yeah it was,
yes,
Yeah.
true.
when the disgusting food started
The moment I joined you guys like permanently, I remember I started to notice that you guys have before the spawn like 30 minutes of just chatting. So قبل I come here, I surprised you guys with bringing food. And I still remember the first thing that I got you guys was Warhead sour
oh yeah
sour شو اسمه
worms
no it wasn't the worms. I
هذا
forgot, like,
مثل
مصاصة.
حلاوة
Yeah. And I remember it was the first thing that actually killed them because it was very sour.
it was extremely sour
Hamoud, I remember he spit it out in
It
the
was
bag
bad, okay
and it fell outside the bag. Ma'lawi, his face changed. Yo-Yo's, I think his
Chunked 5.
like one of his earlobes just popped out. But I remember it was really fun, and that's one of the things I wanted to commit to, is bringing random food.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just disgusting food, it was just random, and this is how before the spawn got born into existence.
Yeah, we've done a lot of episodes since then. There's a lot of episodes that are not uploaded at all. There's so many episodes that we never uploaded to YouTube or to Spotify or anything. Mainly there's a lot of stuff that happens because of مثلا of us not getting the information right, or I'm not being able to edit or upload the episode.
I'm sorry.
So
Abud Laomer. So when the chat said, question for everyone, what is your new year resolution? Abud كتب
Oh no, I just got
1380
it.
by 40 by just
Oh, no.
يعني كتب resolution as a resolution of 1.4K.
that's a good one.
Abud,
No,
that's
it's
a good
not.
one.
It's a nice one.
a nice one,
مخي,
Abud.
my brain, my last 2 brain cells just lost. Like
So
I cannot
That's a
do
good
this anymore.
so yeah.
What is spawn point?
Those episodes are gone. But we still now we're more committed to make this a better experience. Now
Back to the table.
One of the things.
Just a second.
Yeah.
So the story of the table. الحين بالنسبة لي أحمل pride في making the table.
Yeah.
So موضوع الطاولة بدينا أنه نفس ما قلنا طاولتين ايكيا
Yeah.
نعلقوا في دينهم
Until like I think summer of this
حالة.
year يعني إن
Yeah.
كنا نفس الطاولتين same exact 2 tables. We didn't even buy new ones. It's the same
And I
ones.
still remember we looked like again like just chickens shoved next to each other, especially when Yo-Yo sits next to me. There's like, you see this gap? This gap does not exist.
We use
when
old staples for a lot of stuff.
Yes, you use with the old table. He was a planet or the sun. وميمز was a planet تسحب في his gravity مسكينة.
Like I kid you not, I just had to like move to the right more and just get too close to Hamoud, and then there is Yo-Yo's.
زين على وين؟
انزين
طاولة.
طاولة
Table. How it was made.
قبل كان عندنا يعني انا وحمود نقعد زين بس نطالع طاولات مال الناس جت نقول لاين نطالع هذا هالبودكاست فان طاولته زين احنا شلون نسوي
That's
طاوله
when we planned.
شلون نسوي طاوله كلنا نقعد كنا نحاول نقابل الكاميرا قد ما نقدر
Yes.
قبل بيسكلي انا وحمود نقعد مقابلين
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
you just decide انزين على الاقل اوكي الحين انا طالع مني حمود طالع مني
it's
it's better انزين so what should we do انزين have a circle table how we can do it that's the problem
أو
Bring
لا
one.
أول شيء
أو
كنا
نقدر
how can we
one.
buy
إيه.
one
Buy
يعني
one.
مثلا we were not gonna do it وكنا ندور مثلا أوكي وين نقدر نروح محل and I don't know about other countries بس في البحرين it's not that wide of a range of tables most tables حق مثلا تحصل مثلا coffee table which is very low حق مثلا أو تحصل a desk حق مكتب which is rectangle انزين او مثلا في ايكيا has some options بس بعد it's that one set size عرفت انه اوكي they have this size عندهم كان almost have a circle it's not have a circle صار more
بيضاوية
Yeah,
ازيد
yeah.
انزين بس it's too long يعني انه it was good and it was expensive
Oh yeah, IKEA tables.
so
are a bit more.
that was one option اللي مالت ايكيا بس it was too long for this space it would take almost to here يعني انه extra like at least half a meter or شيء كذي. But it's like we can't use that. It's just gonna take the whole space. Our option was the next option is
DIY
of course this is what we do here.
so
DIY
basically مو بس في spawn point basically
respawn.
respawn كل شيء نحاول نسوي
Respawn culture to DIY.
اذا basically if you can ما تقدر تحصله انزين تسوي بروحك
Yeah.
انزين so الستوري مرة الطاولة كان let's do it sketch 3D سوينا 3D الحين لازم نحصل محل سوينا القاعدة مالتها بس
actually we wanted someone to do the whole thing
أي.
بس ما في أحد يسوي it's either someone who does this or someone does this يعني
There's no in between.
there's no place that you can go to and does the whole thing.
so يوم واحد تقعد من النوم حاولوا حمون خلينا نقوم نسوي الطاولة
Yeah fuck it.
فكت شلون شو اسمه CNC نقصها انزين نسوي الرجايل اند ذاتس ات هذا كان العصر بعد
Yeah.
صار بيسكلي الساعه 2 سنه ما بعد يعني عندهم ساعتين وبندون كل محلات
Yeah. So we had to go through a lot of places. to
رحنا
find.
سوينا الرجايل خلصنا الموضوع الرجايل قالوا لنا بيبرزون عقب كم من يوم اوكي بيرفكت هذا القاعده مالت الطاوله انزين الحين التوب مشكلتنا التوب وين نحصل توب عريض انزين ونقدر نقصه. اوكي ايكيا عندهم توب كيتشن توبس بس ما يجون هالعرض. زين شو نسوي؟ ناخذ شيت حطب.
لا اول شيء we were gonna يعني إنه على وقع يختصر بواجد باي ذا واي
ما اقدر اروح واجد بلي سنتين
يعني عقب اليوم اللي بنسوي فيه بس التوب كان من الصبح الساعه 10 تقريبا كذي للمغرب الساعه 6. احنا we're spending the time to just make this. If you are watching this on video, if you're listening to it, you can go to the YouTube and watch it. But to do this top, we spent almost half a day على هذا شو اسمه على هالتوب. We went to too many places مال النجارة عشان نقول لهم نبي بس حطب وتقصونهم لنا on this size. went to maybe 7 or 8 9 places. كل واحد يقول له روح هناك كلهم ما عندهم.
لما حصلنا لاخر واحد قال لي اوكي جيبوا لي الحطب انا بقص عليكم. رحنا يوم الثاني انزين ما حد في المكتب كان عندهم. تذكر يوم نروح فوق ما حد كان في المكتب. جاء واحد اخر شيء ركب لنا فوق اللي يسوي لا ما نقدر نسوي. زين ليش
امس قايلين لي اوكي اليوم العقب قالوا ما نقدر نسوي.
خلاص الساعه 3 كان بمندون كل المحلات. وش نسوي؟ نروح ناخذ شيت حطب. خلينا شيت حطب
which is this one.
انزين ولا the funny thing ان احنا ما عندنا سياره بتقدر تشيل وهذه ترى كانت مترين وشي.
it was way bigger.
لا اكبر من دي
مترين.
مترين و40 في متر و20.
There's one way by there to do it which is تبطلون الصندوق تطيحون
الكراسي مال السيارة. It's still too big. It will be too much outside.
انزين فشو اللي صار؟ الشخص اللي او شو اسمه المحل اللي كان يسوي لنا الرجايل كان عنده 6 ويل. مو هو المحل اللي صوبه
6 ويل مو بيك اب.
لا 6 ويل صغير. انزين كلمناه قلنا بندفع لك بيزات بس نبيك تاخذ الطاوله من محل توديها محل ثاني
في سلمابات يعني literally a minute للمحل اللي فيه الحطب وبعدين another minute عشان نوديها بس we paid him like
we paid him
fuck it we need to finish it
How
today.
much did you guys pay?
I think we paid them 5 BD.
هذا حق الروحه والرجعه ولا بس حق
and it's like 2 minutes.
لا ما جاب المحل. انزين بس ياخذها من هاي دنوب يوديها حق محل يقصون CNC. انزين ذاتس ات بس. انزين خب ركبت اياهم في سياره انا في النص كذي
وانا ابو العامر في السياره نروح له ويا وراهم كذي.
انزين رحنا ودينا خذينا الحطب. انزين ودينا يقصونه قاعدين نشوف قاعد ننتظرهم لما يقصونه. قصوا الحطب.
Man CNC is so cool. I wish I have a CNC.
انزين ومشى 6 ويل. انزين بنركب هذه في السياره لا ما في محل تركب. سياره عبود نفس الشيء. اخر شيء نزلنا الكراسي حاولنا بس دخلنا الاغراض دشت. انزين الحديد اللي تحت بعد نفس الشيء.
ودينا سيارة على
وصلنا المحل. انزين يمكن 10 دقائق ركبنا
بس it was completely يعني we went to these places and they made القاعدة وقصوها مشون بس it was completely our plan يعني we planned how it will be شلون تركب وما ايش and it is detachable like you can open it completely ونطلعها نوديها مكان ثاني which is was one of the things that we wanted to do عشان if we want to use the table for anything else or if we're gonna move the podcast to somewhere new we can just open everything and
so easy 3 screws نشيلها.
Basically you guys made your own IKEA table.
better than IKEA table. So if you want any table
I still remember by the way after they fixed up the table and everything أتذكر I don't know who sent the photo. I think you're yours. Send the photo of the table and I just said in the chat what is this? Literally on WhatsApp I was like what is this?
أتذكر when the table was set up with the mics you use took a picture خلاها في Reddit.
في Reddit.
أنا خليتها في Reddit. أنا عصرت الكارمو.
And
it was took the picture you
it was one of the top post على podcast r/podcast حتى طلع علي شو اسمه notification من Reddit إنه this is the top post في r/podcast I'm subscribed to. أقول that's our setup. I saw this post. I know. But we did this.
الفن إنه في Reddit اللي هو podcast everyone's giving us suggestions. إذا كل من يسأل وين نسوي الطاولة من نسوي
and people like the set.
And you
we
know
should
what?
actually take الحين with this new update.
كان المفروض بس تخلون before or after.
We need to do with the updated قبل ما كان عندنا ده.
شو اسمه to do a 360.
Yeah.
But we need to fix all of this.
So
180 is good.
So now I want to talk a little bit about some stuff for the future. But before that,
the future.
Other places more. يعني we need to find a way to get the stats for everything. But Spotify, of course, everyone saw this and they are on Spotify and Spotify Wrapped. and they
right.
give you either عندك your own Spotify, they give you which artist you listen to most, the songs you listen to the most. Kid Cudi, of course. Shout out to Kid Cudi.
0.05.
Yeah. But they also give, if you go on the podcast, if you own a podcast, you go on the podcast side to see your episodes, they give you a wrapped for your own episodes, man.
Yeah.
For the year.
Yep.
For 2021, and this was before 3 episodes when the wrapped happened. So for this year, we did 18 episodes.
Okay.
But for the wrapped, it's just the first 15 episodes. We had people listen from 30 countries, which is
Damn.
insane to me, honestly.
Yeah.
30 countries
Yep.
people listening to, and we increased our listeners by 375%,
Damn.
which is insane. On again, yeah, we are not, and when I say this, and of course, one of the looking at the future, one of the things that we want to change, we are the worst people when it comes to marketing the podcast.
Yep.
We just do it. People who know. Anyone in Spawn and Respawn who follows Respawn on
Yeah.
Twitch knows, and anyone who is on Respawn Discord will know,
Discord,
and
yeah.
we're doing this. But anyone who doesn't know about Respawn
Yep.
We'll never
doesn't
see
know
it.
about Spawn Point
Yeah,
by
yeah.
itself. Yeah, لأن احنا that's the whole idea of Spawn Point is for it to be kind of a Respawn podcast, but at the same time it's its own thing. And then anyone can find it by itself. It doesn't have to be completely related to Respawn.
Yeah.
It's 30 countries is insane. أنا thought it's like
فأول ما قالوا
4
لي-
countries يطلعون، أو البحرين والسعودية، يمكن واحد في، يمكن أخو يوسف في كندا قاعد يسمع. And that's it, you know, we're done. 30 countries.
اول ما قالوا لي قلت لهم يقول لي يوس can you name 30 countries اصلا
2022 16.
So, looking into the future, one thing I have changed from I do the editing. So, from the editing point of view, I want to increase the quality of editing. But one thing that I already changed, or I want to continue on that, and just for everyone to be consistent. One of the things we've always been consistent about is doing the podcast on time.
Yeah.
يعني مثلا كان غيرنا شويه ليوم الاحد فتره، بس الحين it's back again to every Friday 7:30. We started
Yeah.
with every Friday 7:30, which is good, and people know انه okay you'll be
خلاص they're programmed now to-
يوم الجمعه اليوم في podcast اليوم.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go check it out, see what the guys are doing, what they're talking about, ولا what the fuck they are eating today, eggs and pests whatever. Then yeah, that's one thing اللي I never been consistent about كان قبل is uploading the podcast on a specific day and time.
And that's
sometimes يسوي السبت، يمكن ساعات يصير الأحد، ساعات يوم الاثنين، ساعات يجي يوم الأربعاء،
but-
ساعات يوم الجمعة 3 حلقات ينزلون نفس الوقت. I was bad about that.
But to be honest, يعني for anyone who's listening, and this is to be honest not fully Hamoud's fault, because we don't do this as a full-time thing.
Yeah.
We have our
We have
own,
other stuff.
like
بس it's يعني if I've streamlined the process of doing the edit. قبل كانت so chaotic. So like the live stream, everything and recording is everything. We've done everything to be easy for us to set up. لأن قبل كان أول ما بدينا كان it was impossible لأن you have to know everything about every equipment for you to be able to stream. Now it's just like we said, because of everyone in Twitch and donating and subscribing and everything, we have the process so easy. And at some point, I feel like we can press one button and it will do
And then,
everything.
yeah.
Now it's still you have to press few buttons, but it's easy. تشغل كاميرا، تشغل كاميرا، تشغل ليت، وتشغل شو اسمه البرودكاستر, and you
يعني.
press go live.
Yeah.
بس قبل كان you have to do that. The same thing with the editing. I've done a process of okay, now I know where my audio, where my video, and where is every asset I need to use. And now the good thing I've been doing for the past month, episodes are up every Sunday on 12 p.m. It will go. It's already up scheduled and it's live 12 p.m. Sundays for everyone who's like coming back from work. Can listen to the podcast on the way they're back from work, which is I think a lot of people do that, and when it's an audio
Yeah.
they just listen to it in the car because no one's gonna just
It's
sit
like it's kind of a white noise effect, but with a fun side.
with
with
4 people talking about
For boomers.
Blizzard. So this is one thing اللي I've changed and I want to keep changing, making it better from my side, and of course the marketing. So let's
Exposure,
go
basically.
side by side and see what do you guys think in the future. What do we want, or what do you want to see for us to do better in the podcast? So
Yeah.
Mims, you can go for it.
Okay, one of the things that I always talk about, and to be honest, I'm also not participating in, and to be honest, I'm reestablishing my life balance.
I think
basically
Before
which
this,
is
I think the issue was it's the past 2 years with COVID, everyone's schedule was fucked up.
It's not even the
This is
schedule.
the only word I can find.
Yeah.
Like life schedule and stuff, it was
Yeah,
so
it's
fucked up. But now we're getting back into rhythm of normal life, and we know our.
It's not even about that. It's just like the mental state that we were in. To be honest, it wasn't the best shape where we can actually have the mental peace of just doing something without us worrying about multiple things in the background. So this is one of the things that I want to improve, which is once we come to the podcast, this is podcast time. Like we don't have to think about anything that is going on in our lives whatsoever. And to be honest, I need to contribute more when it comes to the exposure, because I always talk about exposure and how I can contribute into this, but
you don't do it.
Exactly.
We all do that same
But
thing.
you know what? This is like guilt tripping, because every single time, without you guys knowing, I come to the podcast, I'm like, shit.
I should have posted.
I should have. Whatever, I'm checking the password. Like, this is my bad.
Yeah.
So it's like this is one of the things. Planning the content out with things that should go live.
Yeah, like highlights. I think that
highlights. I would say using multiple channels to put our exposure out there.
TikTok, Instagram, stuff
Exactly,
like that.
all of it. Yani, this is something that we need to get our roots in, and then we start to be more consistent about. Like we should have a theme around things and guidelines of how to post things and what we need certain things. Yani, if anyone knows branding guidelines, we're talking about colors, font, and all of that.
Well,
So this is mainly what I want to focus on, and one of the things I actually want to introduce. I know I'm gonna try to wrap it up as much as I can.
We
Which
can go a
is
little bit over
Take your
that.
time. Take your time.
trying to have more reactions during our podcast. Like I know we talk a lot and stuff, but one of the things that I want to have is reactive with our chat. So it's like we want the chat to submit some things to us at least once.
Yeah, we have like a
segment.
a segment for the chat. Yeah.
So it's like this is gonna be two-way.
We always wanted to do this, but like again, like we said, we've been. We cannot blame it completely on COVID stuff. We are also sometimes lazy about the stuff, and we feel like we just want to come together.
Like
but that's something that I think we're all committed to change, and we've been changing. So let's move on, Ihsan. What do you, Ihsan, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, Ihsan is part of the podcast from now on. He might not be a regular host. He's just but he's always behind the scenes working with us for everything on production side and
just like we're eating extra food for him. And whenever he smells disgusting food, he's like, "Don't eat it at me, just don't."
So, what do you think? I know you have some ideas, but what's your ideas?
What Mim said in the end, mal segments for the chat is something I wanted to mention. But mainly, let's say today, I want to be full time behind the
camera.
The computer.
Behind the scenes.
I don't know if anybody knows Funhouse besides me and Hamoud's here. But you remember Lawrence in the Inside Gaming days? I want to be Lawrence. No face, just audio. Whenever I'm needed, I'll just swoop in. You need something to be confirmed. I want to be that. مثلا اليوم you use Maji. 3 of you are here. I want to be behind the computer. And add to that. And then the other thing is I want to have interviews with the personalities from the Middle Eastern community, let's say. Ticketmaster,
we get people opinions on different topics. For example, if we have a big topic about, for example, we mentioned Ticketmaster, like a fighting game. For example, if طلعوا right all the information of their new fighting game, we can get a segment with him telling us as a pro fighting player, what does he think about the game?
It's basically getting the expert opinion.
It doesn't have to be just expert opinion. A new Arab streamer just popped off and he's willing to come on the podcast for 15 minutes. Just have a quick interview with him.
For Allah, I think I know what you will say.
So mostly I focus on technicality.
I know what you're going to say. Go on.
And the lighting, camera.
We talk about this shit all the time.
So lighting, camera, أزيد شيء بالنسبة لي. Hamoud's taking care of audio.
Camera? What about the camera?
And then, so we're thinking to upgrade a camera and then getting 2 angles at least.
This is
I'm saying at least.
at least.
انزين for
I want 3.
بالنسبه لي احسن شيء انه يكون عندنا وايد كاميرا نفس اللي الحين
نفس
قاعد
now.
تشوفونه and we have like focused cameras عليهم اثنينهم. بالنسبه لي اللي افضل بالعكس كاميرا على ان كل واحد بس that's gonna be in the future.
That means like literally one here, one here,
We need
one here.
a big space.
انزين هاي واحد.
one day.
The other thing is lighting.
Yes.
انزين الحين احنا شفنا ساعات دائما الفتره الاخيره مغيرين اللايتنج مندين اللايتنج مال السيلينج ونعتمد على بس لايتنج واحد.
Yeah.
ستيل احس ان اللايتنج we can
Always
improve
we can make it
on
better,
it. انزين هذا من ناحيه تكنيكاليتيز وهالسوالف. other thing اعتقد ان من الحلقه الجايه اللاي اوت مالنا في الستريم
Yeah.
انزين من غيره.
Yep.
خلاص صار له
خلاص this is the end.
Outdated a
We
bit.
need the new
Yeah.
things.
انزين we'll add more animation.
Yeah.
قاعد افكر اليه يعني حتى مثلا اللوجو اللي فوق قاعد يطلع وانا have animated
Yeah.
loops every كم دقيقه. more lighting نفس ما تكلمت.
Yeah.
background lighting حقنا. that will cover technicalities. ونفس ما قال إحسان عن موضوع مثلا bringing a new مثلا شخص أو أحد نسوي له interview. أحس هذا مو سهل نسوي بس it's doable.
We can do it. يعني
بالنسبة لنا كل شيء
it's
عادي.
not impossible. يعني
It just
the only
requires
things
the
that
right
we cannot
setup.
do is the impossible stuff.
Exactly.
If it's not impossible, it's doable. We can
And
do
in
it.
my mind, even if we cannot bring them in person,
We can like
an online
record
call is
with-
هو هذا كان شو اسمه it's easier for them. انزين ما بيهم يقطعون مشوار يجون.
Especially by
أو
the
إن they
way.
commit the time.
even
Yeah.
if they're abroad,
Exactly.
it would give us more broader options, I would say.
Yeah.
Because ترى by the way يعني we have multiple influencers from outside of Bahrain. يعني we're not only committed for Bahrain, we're looking at the
The
GCC.
whole region, yeah.
Yeah.
حتى مو بس الريجن حتى مثلا like
Worldwide,
international
like, yeah.
like if we get for example
Keanu Reeves.
someone who's big
Shit,
أنا
bro.
مثلا
I'll do that
حتى
interview.
حتى like a big developer someone who's like works in مثلا in Riot who's like
Yeah.
in US and he's willing to give comments about something. Why not? At some point, this is what we want to get bigger at
Yeah.
and have more stuff.
And by the way, this is one of the reasons why احتمال يعني بعض الناس they're asking why are we speaking English, because we want to cater for multiple audiences. We don't just
Yes.
want to focus on
We're
Bahraini
gonna-
audience or GCC
Yeah.
audience.
We can do the podcast completely. I mean, we still talk in some way.
Yeah, okay,
We can-
then
but it's يعني I think it's easy for anyone who doesn't know Arabic and they understand
Yeah,
the
يعني
flow of things.
from time to
you know?
time you notice إن نقط قطات بالعربي, but we get back to the English and that's
The
one
main
of the
things are in
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so we have so much in our mind. We always had so much in our mind
It's
that
just
we want to do with the
We-
podcast.
yeah.
It's just always a lot of stuff with the timing or well it's just my resources that we don't have or sometimes comes down to us just saying stuff and never it's just working through it. But the thing that always keeps us coming back and trying to do better is people who watch and listen to the podcast
Basically,
and
anyone
people
who's
who come
listening or watching us right now, it's
on
you.
Twitch. Yeah, because this is what we always feel like now. Okay, as big as we see the podcast becoming, we always feel like okay, we owe it to these people to make it better, and we cannot just give them the same thing over and over and make it
Yeah.
boring.
اقول لك لا bringing people انزين into the podcast حتى لو احنا our limited knowledge of like gaming industry, gaming world, انزين having more people having to join us in the podcast will give the audience more perspective, like different perspective of what are we seeing حاليا. ف hopefully يعني next year
Yeah, with the
2022.
start, with start 2022 in few hours, we're planning to make it better for everyone. So you will see a better Spawn Point podcast. That's what we want.
This
we
is,
can
by the
promise.
way, يعني our New Year resolution.
Yeah, this is Spawn Point resolution. Not 2040. I don't know whatever Abu said.
4K resolution.
Yeah, 4K resolution. So yeah, there's so much we want to do and so much we want to improve on. But yeah, the best way for you to follow up on this journey.
قبل لا نخلص, so what is your biggest achievement toward Spawn Point? What did you achieve?
Oh, can I go first?
Ladies
Literally making you guys puke in multiple
Achievement.
like they're making you guys actually either enjoy or completely be disgusted by the food that I bring.
حسام
20 UFC walk.
Oh, that was good shit.
حمود
So I don't know. I feel like
Use if
I
you-
did normal stuff.
use if you're in the chat can you please type that
I think for
He is
me
in the chat.
being now and it's recently being more consistent with the uploads, which I makes me happy when I upload the podcast and when I edit and finish. And I get stressed if I don't do it. So I think editing and uploading the podcast on time is my main achievement.
One of the things I actually applaud you at is your creativity when it comes to introduction, the intro and the outro. Especially lately, you just like do this spontaneous.
Yeah,
where
that's one thing
you
I
catch
wanted
us
to
off
change. I don't
guard.
want it to be boring and the same
It's
thing.
not the
always. I
typical
want it
let's
to be-
freeze,
let's go.
smile, hello.
so basically اعتقد انا بالنسبه لي 2019 BlizzCon
Oh,
was
shit.
3 hours
podcast, yeah.
podcast
We watched the live
cried.
stream. You cried on Overwatch 2 trailer, remember?
Oh shit.
You
Overwatch
cried
2
out of happiness.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
no.
It was back when Blizzard was still okay. Was still they were okay.
You guys like literally تبطلوا مواجع. Like I forgot about that shit. Like this is 2022.
there is a whole video on YouTube about that.
3 hour بودكاست ساعات احس ان البودكاست ساعه ما تكفي
Yeah.
وبس سبيت قاعد
Yeah, we can talk about.
But yeah, that's.
What's one thing, by
preferable.
the way, and hopefully we might make it different is before the spawn make more interactive. And we do eat food in Marosh, but we wanted to make it more interactive.
Yeah.
So last thing I want to say, with 2022, hopefully that's the whole idea of us increasing our viewers and numbers of people that listen to the podcast is to be able to maybe monetize the podcast more. Hopefully find if we can find a sponsor or something, and I want to get that money to give back to the viewers that watch us on the live stream. So hopefully we can like make this bigger, and with at the end of next year we become in a place that we can like get money for every month for us to put back into the community.
are we bringing community donation back
No, I want to give the community without giving us.
no community donation I mean like when we bought shit
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
community.
I know what you mean, but I want
But
to
we
I want to
get
give the
it-
community without giving
Them
anything from the
giving.
community.
Yeah,
I want مثلا for us to grow to the point that
have
maybe
community
Raid Shadow
events.
Legends come and sponsor us, and we talk about Raid Shadow Legends,
Yeah.
and then we give most of that money back to the community, like give away some money or give away like buy something like collector edition or whatever, you know.
It's like full-on community events, basically.
Yeah, I want to be able like month by month do like one stream where before the spawn is just us giving back, you know. So thank you all again. We have to end it. It's already been an
Yeah.
hour. Thank you all for joining us.
That's a heart.
That's a heart.
Yeah.
Thank you all for
عبالي
joining
تلتبية.
us throughout the year of 2021. I know it's been inconsistent as fuck.
It was an emotional roller coaster.
we
to be
didn't stream
honest.
the whole year. We
Yeah.
missed a lot of episode uploads. We tried to make it better, but we fell into the cycle of the life was shit. So, but now it's getting better.
Yeah.
We're here.
The beautiful part is that you all stuck through.
Yeah, people who
Thank
stuck
you.
through with us and kept pushing us and ask about the podcast. Those are people. And some people, and I know, I think maybe it happened to you guys. I think Allah will happen to you a few times. You told me about it. People out of nowhere that you don't talk to coming and saying, "ما سويتم upload the podcast مال هالأسبوع" are something
Just
that
like-
يعني I expect it. يعني I still appreciate everyone who listens, but أخوان hello يعني people who are always there and they still talk about it. But if it's someone that I know barely ولا أعرفه شوي من زمان and we never talked for like years, and he comes and says, "By the way, what is this episode of the podcast? You didn't upload it." So I'm like, okay, this makes me want to go and work on it
Yeah,
now.
true.
appreciation it's
Yeah.
just appreciation
So we fucking appreciate everyone who listens, and we are happy that you are enjoying the podcast. We promise that we're gonna try the next year to make it better. So thank you all for joining us. If you're watching this live, I mean on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, Happy New Year. I know it's صار
Yep.
New Year.
Happy New Year, you
Two
filthy
ye-
animals.
two days ago it's been a New Year's, but we're recording this on the night of New Year. So have a happy New Year, and we hope your next year becomes even better than last 2 years. Thank you all again for joining us.
and miss you Yus.
We love you all,
All the love.
and we'll see you.
Next year.
See you guys.
No, we'll see you next Friday. No, thank you.
Happy New Year guys.
See you next Friday at 7:30 on
See you.
twitch.tv/smallbh. Bye.
Bye.